Hello, 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 everyone. Wonderful to see you today. Hi, Void. Hi, Potato. How's everybody doing? Y'all, I am so stoked for today. I can't even begin to tell you. Let's just jump right into it. Welcome on in. My name is ThatNerdViolet, and we are back today with the incredible Milady Confetti. Let's go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing? Hanging in?
Nervous.
Nervous? Yeah, we were discussing a little bit before stream and basically just talking about how we were both really nervous for today because I said this was my first interview and you had interviewed me prior. And I said sometimes it's really weird when you're getting flipped around and being on the opposite end of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
It's nervous. It's nerve-wracking.
Well, let's start off. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Milady Confetti. I am a variety content creator. Well, my main platforms being Twitch and Twitter. I'm also a cosplayer. I do a lot of TikToking and yeah, I'm also an activist. I've been doing activism work for probably now a decade. And yeah, I'm very passionate about a lot of things that I'm interested in. So a little bit about
Awesome.
me.
Yeah. So we met many years ago now. I can't even keep track of time. And
What is time?
I know what is time? It's a social construct. The last time I saw you was at PAX East. What was it? I think it was
Yes.
2020 before the world went to heck. But we met playing Dead by Daylight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're Ace. So what got you involved in Dead by Daylight in general? And
Okay.
then, like, how do you think that that kind of helped you evolve? Like, did you think that there was a connection between, Dead by Daylight being like super inclusive and friendly to a lot of different people, especially like within the LGBTQIA plus community?
I could see how maybe 2021,
Hmm.
honestly. Because when we met, I wasn't a fog whisper yet. So
Hmm.
like I was just like just chilling. Um but what got me into it was actually my friend Mike, who was a Twitch creator and he got me onto Dead by Daylight. He's somebody who had served in the military and he got injured. So, he was honorably discharged. So he turned to gaming and he was like, hey, like I want to play this game. Like I need something to do. Like I need a friend. Because that's really tough when that's like your career
Yeah.
and that's all I had. So I started playing with him, and the first person I played against was Freddie Krueger. I don't know why when I say Freddie, I always go to Freddie Mercury. It wasn't Freddie Mercury, it was Freddie Krueger, and it was the most horrifying thing, but I stuck with it, and then I guess I did gravitate a lot towards like some people like in the community and things like that. But yeah, I think by the time PAX East was around, I was aware of a lot of like a lot of like the larger streamers and a lot of people I have met who were super friendly.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if it was like particularly anything that had to do with like the queer community.
Mhm.
But I always have known that there has been something that has been like analogous with the queer, like with queerness and with horror.
Mhm.
Just with Dead by Daylight, I didn't feel that just yet. But also, to be fair, like I was also on my own journey, so that was
Mhm.
probably the furthest thing from my mind.
Yeah, big time. Because I feel like Dead by Daylight has always been like a super inclusive community, especially for anybody LGBTQIA plus. But I was the same as you. Like I wasn't drawn to it because of that. I just always liked horror and have grown up with horror and
Hmm.
really enjoyed that aspect of it. Um, so you have also started Sisters of the Fog. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. After the lot of things that were happening in 2020, it was really sparked when Behavior had made the statement, saying that, they cared about Black lives and racial justice and things like that. And I had some issues with that because one, there were a lot of Black women in the community, a lot of Black femmes in the community who did not feel safe. You say you stand for racial justice, but the racism in the Dead by Daylight community has been allowed to go unhinged since its genesis. There was blackface in the game. There was cultural appropriation with hair in the game. It is still there, which are things that I had talked about for years.
Hmm.
And I said, you care about racial justice, but where? Because your actions and the things and the products that you put out into the world don't reflect that.
Absolutely.
You can make all the charity donations you want in the world, but the thing is your product is not it's not really lining up with what you're saying here. So what is this?
Hmm.
So myself and Sister Karen had the first Sisters of the Fog podcast where we spoke about all of the issues. I think that podcast was probably 3.5 hours.
Wow, the
Um,
first one. My
the first
gosh.
one, it was
Yeah.
very long, because there's just a lot of crap that we had to air out, and it was just, it was very hurtful to like, yes, I guess like those statements are made in good spirit or in good faith, but the thing is your actions don't show that.
Right.
And like I honestly, as a black person, as a black creator, I felt very insulted. I had no idea black fog whisperers existed until Frisk said something on Twitter and said, hey, as a black fog whisperer. I said, what? There's a black fog whisperer? Like, why didn't I know who the hell she was until?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why? I see. It makes me upset. I'm like, why didn't I know who she was until she said something on Twitter?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I should have seen her like front and center
Hmm.
from the jump.
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
So like it was just very irksome to me. So, that's where that came from. And then, we had another podcast, and then I said, like, hey, like, let's just make this a community. Um, so we had a full-blown community where we had black femmes who could join, and then when I became partnered, I wanted to make it a stream team officially, so we did do that.
Hmm.
And then now it's kind of growing into this really awesome organization, and I'm loving how it's blossoming.
That's
'Cause I have
wonderful.
a really awesome team behind me. Because it's
Yeah.
not just me. I don't want people to say like it's just me. Like there's a seriously awesome team behind everything that happens with Sisters of the Fog, and
That's
I love
awesome.
every single person in there.
Awesome. And honestly, like it really does take a village, right? So
Yes.
even if it was a concept, it evolved into this beautiful thing that it is now. And it started with Dead by Daylight, but it's evolved into more things than that. And I've seen like different charities that y'all have been raising money for, and
Yes.
I saw like a big group of you too, because we're gonna be playing later today. But like you got a bunch of people and yourself too for VHS, and you had even met with was it the chair for VHS a
Oh
couple of weeks
no,
back? It was the
that was the
it was the
CEO.
CEO. Correct.
I
Correct.
had that email in my email. My managers were like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything. I just asked a question.
Well, you asked a very valid question, though. You did, and then you got the ball rolling. You really did, and the meeting went well. That you
It
had
went
spoke about.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A-
Awesome.
And from that meeting, like I always because I kept reiterating um to Chris, that is his name. He didn't change it from now and then. Um that, please just don't talk to me.
Hmm.
Because I am not the spokesperson for all black people.
Right.
I'm not the spokesperson for all black women. So, please talk to these other groups who may not necessarily all have a focus on horror, but the thing is we're all gamers and we all are from marginalized communities. So, speak to them. That's why I talked about Stream Queens. I talked about the
Hmm.
Noir Network, Brown Girl Gamer Code. Um, Sisters of the Fog, other members of Sisters of the Fog, not me, because you already talked to me, so I'm gonna go hide.
You're like, I'm done here.
And and other groups too, and other specific people who are just trailblazers in the community, because it shouldn't just be one person in the room. It never
Right.
should be, because I
Right.
can't speak for all people. I can just speak about my experience, and sometimes that overlaps with other people's experiences, but it's not like a one size fit all.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, do you think did as you've grown with your own journey and you know doing Sisters of the Fog, becoming a Twitch partner, do you feel like that had to do with you coming out? Because you came out fairly recently, like within your streaming journey, right?
Did I? Oh
I
my
feel like
God.
I'm going off of just how long I've known you and then some.
Yeah, I did do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're keeping up with my life, because
I've got
What
the
is
brain
time?
cell right now. I'm telling you, once 6 p.m. hits, it'll be gone and I'll see it on Friday.
Hold on to it, please, for both of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it had anything to do with it. I just
Yeah.
think it was just like
It was just time.
it was just time
Yeah.
to say something.
Yeah.
Like it just felt right. So I was just like, all right, like I'm just gonna say this thing. I think like I was honestly like a lot of my some of my moderators are in here too. And
Mhm.
like even when I said something to them first before like I went out and said something because I know I had spoken to you in DMs like
Yeah.
how do I write a tweet without typos? And
Yeah.
then, like I had told my moderators in a very casual way, and they were also like loving and accepting, and like were telling me like more about themselves and like what that means to them. And I said, you know, there are a lot of questions I still have for myself.
Mhm.
I know like one of my moderators, Yellow Bear, who I spoke to, I was just like, does this make sense for me? Like this is just how I feel. And like they're always like, yes. Like if it makes sense to you, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Periodic table.
Yeah.
So I like always felt comfortable like within like my community or like people who I've entrusted that information to.
Mhm.
Because I'm a very private person. So like when people try to pry a little bit too much, I tend to run away or bite.
Mhm.
So
Like, I don't get away.
so yeah, like I'm also I'm very like careful about like, you know, what I share and what I do when it comes to like me, like, you know, Confetti the person, because
Yeah.
I'm very protective of me
Yeah.
and like I can't be vulnerable with everybody.
Yeah.
So um yeah, I just think the time was right, but also like I feel like I'm a very good judge of character and I try to like trust my gut with things. So like that's why I didn't mind like, you know, coming to you and saying, "Hey, like I'm struggling with this thing." Or
Yeah.
like when I feel invalidated, like, you know, I retweeted one of Faye's infamous tweets that makes me feel so safe. And like Faye like was just like, who do I need to fight? I'm like, my brain,
Yeah.
please.
And
So yeah,
just
I
just
don't
to
know.
let the audience know too, the tweet is basically, feeling sometimes left out of the LGBTQIA plus community. Um, and it's a very like prevalent tweet and oh, Faye's in here, great. Yeah. um, and it's basically talking about, sometimes you see certain types of LGBTQA plus individuals raised up, and you might feel like you don't belong, but everybody in here is valid. However you feel is valid. You are celebrated, you are supported, you are loved. And that kind of leads me to the next segue. Would you be able to tell me, at least in your experience, could you explain being ace, like asexuality? Because I think a lot of people, myself even included, are sometimes, I wouldn't say maybe confused about it, but they don't know enough about it.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, like how it come boils down to is so this is how I was introduced to it because it's very interesting because like when I was in college, I was in charge of my college women's center and we worked very close to our LGBTQIA center. Um, but when I was in California, when I used to live there, I spoke to my Russian gynecologist. I love him to death, and he was, and I told him, I said, you know, is it normal that I don't like want to have sex? Is it normal that I don't feel like I want to do that with anybody? Like, is that normal? But like, I'm like, and then sometimes it happens, but then sometimes it don't. And like, he was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's called being asexual. Take this pamphlet, go pay your copay.
That's all he
That
did.
was
He
it.
just gave you a pamphlet and
That was
said
it.
goodbye.
He said, yeah, go pay your copay. That was it.
That reminded me of how my grandmother introduced any sort of like relations to my mother. She gave her a book and said, "Yeah, figure it out." Um,
But
and I
like
mean, she
honestly,
did, but
I'm the type of person like that works for me.
I'm glad
I
it
was like,
worked for
oh,
you. I feel like for some people they would have been like, "What do I do with this now?" Okay, off to the Google. So,
okay.
so that kind of led you down the path. That kind of started the ball rolling. Okay.
He definitely kickstarted it because I was just like, I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought like, I was just like, is it like, I was like, I just thought there was something wrong with me. He was like, no, like because the thing is, the way that he just kind of like, he wasn't like pushing me out of his office. He had
Right,
like,
right,
I was the
right.
last patient of the day. Like, he didn't like, he was the type of person. Like, he was probably next to, like, nurse practitioners, he was probably the first OBGYN that, like, actually let me ask questions,
Okay.
and, and he took his time with me, like, he wasn't trying to get me
Good.
in and out,
Yeah, yeah.
but the thing is, the fact of the matter that he presented it that way so casually
Mhm.
made me feel like there's nothing wrong with me, and I think
Yeah.
that was the intent,
Right.
um, so I think, with that, yeah, it did start like, a lot of research. Um I was living in LA, so I had actually a lot of resources around. There's a lot of LGBTQI centers that are around in the Hollywood area. That's where I
Oh,
was living. Um
cool.
yeah, we worked with a few centers who also have like, some housing areas, has some housing places too for, for children who like get kicked out of their homes and stuff like that or don't have any other place to go. So like, I had a lot of resources there. The internet was right there. So like this was something that I was thinking about and mulling over for years because it's like, well, like, is it gray ace? Is it just asexual? Like, is it demisexual? I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
it was just for the longest time, it was just a very much I don't know.
Mhm.
Because there are times where I feel that, and then when you talk about like asexuality, it's about like the desire not being there. So it's not. But then, a lot of people don't talk about like when you have like a very high libido, which I do have, and it's
Mhm.
fucking annoying. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. And it's very annoying. I'm sorry, it comes out a
It's
lot.
okay.
I'm sorry, it gets better. I'm sorry, I'm a
It's
vile
all
human
good.
being. Um, so like it was just very confusing. That's mostly what I felt. I just felt confused. Because it's just like the libido's there, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sleep. Like it is what it is.
Mhm.
So it was just very odd. But I think once I just like the more research that I done, and I think also like the more people that I spoke to who I felt comfortable with, just to understand to understand myself or understand even their journeys, because everybody's journey is different.
Right.
It started to make more sense to me, but also like I found it that I was trying to like fit into this one box, like the Webster's dictionary of what asexuality is. Like
Yes.
I wish I could like burn it and throw it into the garbage because it's so narrow
Mhm.
and it's so weird. Like,
Right.
and the thing is, like, there are times like where, like, I think that so they talk about like sex positive and sex repulse. I think I'm like somewhere honestly, like in between it.
Mhm.
Honestly, like depends on my mood.
Right.
So like the thing is, it's like I don't know, but when I started like just living for me and just letting things like how I understand it and how I move throughout the world and how I interact throughout the world, it started to make sense to me. And I was just
Mhm.
like, okay, this makes sense. This makes me feel comfortable. This it helped me understand myself a bit more.
Awesome.
Cause like even when I was like in relationships, I was just like, why don't I want to sleep with this person?
Right.
And it wasn't for the lack I didn't like them or I didn't love them. It wasn't there.
Right.
It never was.
Like you were saying before, labels can be great, but they can also be boxes. It comes with like a pros and a con there. Um, it led you down this great path and this great journey to really explore and find out, who you were and
Yeah.
who you are as Milady Confetti. But at the same time, it can be restrictive too, especially if you feel like you don't fit into that box.
Right.
Um, I felt the same way too, and that's kind of why like I identify more as bisexual. But for me, I also very much enjoy the term queer because it's kind of all
Yeah.
encompassing and it allows me to feel like, okay, I'm bouncing around today, so I'm gonna do the umbrella today and make things easier on myself.
Umbrellas. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I also say like asexual
Mhm.
instead of like gray ace asexual. Cause I think when I had spoken to you, like when I DM'd you, like, hey,
Yeah.
like I'm struggling with this wording.
Yeah.
Cause like it makes sense in my brain,
Yeah.
but then I gotta write it.
You're
So
right.
how do I do that? And like you and like I literally like love how like you were just like so easy to speak to. And you're just like, if this like is how you identify, that's just how you identify. So we can write it like this. Does this make sense? And I'm like, yeah, like, that's what my brain is thinking. That's what the last brain cell is thinking. So thank you.
You can't do this to me today. I put on mascara for you today, okay?
Are you crying?
Please. I'm tearing up right now. Yeah.
Why?
Because it means a lot to me, especially for somebody to have that trust in me like as a person, right? Like forget the fact that I'm a creator. Like as a person, like, hey, I need your help with this. Can you help me? Like that meant a lot to me. And I'm happy that I was able to assist you, like in making that happen. And you getting like the verbiage together and then getting like your feelings and like your identity out there, like, hey, this is who I am. Just so y'all
Yeah.
know, take it or leave it. See you later.
Yeah. When I had spoken to my friend Exilia cosplays, like they were saying like it's like she's like, do you feel like okay with this? And like the first thing I like purchased was this little wristband. I normally have like Hypeland stuff on, but like I wore this like for I think like a couple of months, and I was just like, this feels so right. And I know it's dumb, and I know it's just like a garment or whatever, but like
No.
it just made me feel like so one with myself.
Yeah,
And I felt like I just understood myself more.
I
So I
love
was just like,
that.
it was just, I was like, let me just write this thing out. Did I feel like I owed my audience that? No. I just felt like I feel like what I needed help writing was more so for me.
Hmm.
Um, for me to just be like, hey, stand in your light in 4K and shine in all that you are. So.
It's wonderful. I want that on a poster right now.
But pay me for it. Whoever
Fine.
puts it on a poster.
Please.
Yes.
Please. At Milady Confetti. She's on coffee too, which I keep calling Ko-Fi. I'll never not say that. Like, I know it's supposed to be
Honestly,
coffee, but
that's
I call it
valid.
Ko-Fi.
I wanted to change my thing to tea, but like nobody would follow that. So
So as part of your journey, so you would come out, to the community. This was after, everything, and you've been established. Have you come out to your family?
yes.
When when
Um
when did that happen, and how did that,
when
evolve?
Twitch put me on a billboard. So me and Negs had the same experience.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. So
Yeah.
so okay, so walk me through this. Like, so you were on the billboard, and then you were just like, "Hey, mom, by the way."
Yeah. So okay, so I had to so when I got my pictures and stuff taken, I had my friend, he took my pictures and everything, and he was like, "Oh yeah, love that. Like, great." So then, I was had to tell my mother that my face was gonna be in the middle of Times Square. So she was just like, "Oh, like why is Twitch doing that?" And I said, "For Pride." And she was like, "What? Like the Lady Gaga thing?" And I'm like, "Yes, there's something with my mom and Lady
The
Gaga."
Lady Gaga thing.
Yes, yes, that. Because she had just asked like the other day, she was like, what is pansexual? And she's like, is that like Lady Gaga? Like there's something about her and Gaga. I don't know what it's about. Um, but yeah, so I told her and then she was like, well, like what does that mean? Like what are you up there for? And then I explained to her like what asexuality is. I explained to her about the Russian doctor who is
Right, right.
amazing.
With the pamphlet.
I
Can't forget
I just
that.
I love him. I absolutely love him. Um and I explained that, and then she invited my stepdad in. Now, my mom, like, she's not as hard to communicate with as my stepdad is because he's a Jehovah's Witness. So is she. Like, she's like in the middle of converting and all that jibber jabber. But um when my stepbrother had came out as bisexual, my stepdad did not receive that well. And I
Okay.
remember that when I was younger, Tyron had come in with like with a male friend and just, said what he was feeling. He was like, this is me. It is what it is. And he didn't even like, live with us or anything. He just, that's his dad. And he just
Yeah.
wanted him to know that aspect of his life. And he did not react well. So now here's the presentation of me, and like I'm like the sibling who's like never dated. I'm like the sibling who doesn't go out on dates. I just stay to myself and play video games like all the time. um so like I didn't know how he was going to react to me, but I'm also like not his child, so like if you try to curse me out, like my mom is going to go straight Philly and like rock your face. um but like they just really wanted to understand because like you said, like they've heard of like LGBT
Hmm.
and nothing beyond that. So
Right,
like
right.
they really had no idea what was going on. Um so yes, I did. There was, so bringing up like Lady Gaga and like what is it pansexual?
Hmm.
um So that has nothing to do with me. That has something. So my mom, she has clients and stuff like that, and that was something that one of her clients had revealed to her because she works for housing.
Hmm.
And they just in conversation, that person had brought that up, so she didn't understand what it was, so she did her research. But like when it comes to me, I had like a very stern conversation with her because I said, I feel like the reason why you accept my asexuality is because of like my proximity to men. And the thing is, if it weren't like that, I don't know if you would be so accepting. Because the way that you would introduce me to your theater friends, because my mom is very much in the theater, you say like with my New York City billboard, you say that I was up there for Pride. But when it comes to like the family or like other black people or black, cis people or non-queer people in the community, you introduce me and say that I was up there for Black Pride. And that's specifically the word you use. I'm like, one, you have to stop saying that because Black Pride has a very specific meaning and it's not a good one. And two, like, say what I was up there for. She was like, well, I don't want to misread or I don't want to misexplain. I'm like, okay, well, you know how to read, you can, I don't know, if you're feeling confused, like you can always text me and I can
Hmm.
just send you like a 2-word sentence of what you can say to people. But the thing is, like, I think she has this fear of like, because I feel like as like a dark skinned black woman that stayed to herself all the time, that a lot of people put the projection on me that I'm gay.
Hmm.
And I have said, 100 times I am not.
Hmm.
And that's not how I identify. And even when I was a child, like I knew I've always like I've had that conversation with myself. I'm like, well, am I? And the answer has always been no.
Hmm.
So I don't know like what that fear is. And the thing is, even if I was like, I'm still worthy, I'm still gonna be your kid. Like I'm
Right.
still gonna go for bat for you. You should still love me regardless. But like the fact of the matter that isn't, it makes it seem more acceptable. And that's hurtful to me. Like that
Right.
that still hurts me because the thing is like then what do you do for Tyron,
Right.
who's still very much bisexual? Like, do
Right.
you love him conditionally? Like that doesn't make me feel safe. That doesn't make me feel loved. That doesn't make me feel welcomed.
Hmm.
So I know I gave her I gave her that to think about. Cause like my stepdad, like I love him, but like I don't really care what he thinks. But like my mom, like she's like pretty much the only family I have. Like
Hmm.
I care what she thinks, and I just want her to just care about me all the way. And not to
Right.
say that she doesn't, but I said I'm like I have to point out that very specific thing. So if it's about ignorance, then educate yourself and then
Right.
stop doing it. But
Right.
if it continues on beyond this, what are we doing?
Right. I mean, I even remember too, I correct me if
Stop
I'm
it.
wrong. Again, I feel like I have the brain cell today. During your incredible Cinderella cosplay, wasn't your
Yes.
mother there? I feel like there was a
She
photo of,
was. She
yeah,
was,
that was it.
yes, she was
Yeah.
security. Yes, she was in the
She was
video.
security.
No, I really wish I was kidding. She was security
Really?
because yeah, we had so I had gotten the because when you shoot at a public space, like
Yeah.
you do need to have a license like to be there. You need to pay whatever fee there is to shoot on their grounds. And
Okay.
we had paid that. I had paid that. And the person was trying to kick us out and saying like, "Oh, she can't be here." And like I literally showed my paperwork saying, "Yes, I can." But like I was getting aggravated because I'm just like, I'm here in this corseted dress,
Right.
the boobs are pushed up, I'm in heels and I can't walk, and you're gonna argue with me about paperwork. So my mom just kind of took over and just handled it for us
So she was
because
in
I
like
was
business mode and
she was
like,
in
here, do
both
your
business
stuff.
mode.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's like, I will handle it because I'm like,
Yeah.
I paid the fee. I wouldn't be taking pictures on public grounds without getting my paperwork in order. Trust me, because I know I'm going to be looked at.
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to be, looked at more versus other people.
Right, right, right. So like you're both very close, so I can absolutely feel, you wanting her unconditional support, especially too because, I've always been told, and I say the same thing from everything that I've experienced up until now in my life, that, like sexuality and gender, everything is super like fluid and things can change
Yeah.
like at the drop of a hat, and I'm not saying the way that you're feeling isn't going to be the same way in 20 years, but it might not. And, it would be lovely to hear from the people that we especially care for the most that no matter what changes within us and how we might, you know, evolve in our journeys, that they will always love us. And sometimes that's really hard and sometimes you don't get to hear that.
Yeah. like I said, I know that she's mentions that she does accept it. That
Mm,
I just want to see the behavior that follows up with it,
right.
because actions speak louder, I think, than just words.
Hmm.
Like the thing is like the billboard was up there for Pride.
Hmm.
That's what Twitch paid for.
Hmm.
Like, period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
Going
change that.
right now, going back, bringing up the feeling maybe sometimes not included in the LGBTQIA plus community. Do you
Yeah.
feel that way because you are attracted to men and men only?
Honestly, I don't really want to fuck with anybody. I don't really want to mess with anybody. Sorry.
Hmm.
um, sure, maybe.
Hmm.
Like I don't know,
Hmm.
because the thing is, like, with queerness, it's very much like associated and centered around whiteness. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
Like, I know when I see, like, for example, what is Twitch doing right now? The Gamer Awards. I know I'm
Oh
never gonna
yeah.
be there. I know I'm not. And the thing is, the only way to be accepted or acceptable, like, the when I get like pushback from mostly like white gay men, um, it's like I haven't struggled enough.
Hmm.
How dare you tell a black woman that I haven't struggled enough? Like, how dare you?
Hmm.
And the thing is, it's like, one, say that to my face. I really want you to. But like, I understand that marginalization, it happens. I'm not saying like the oppression Olympics or anything like that. But the thing is, you're still white.
Hmm.
You still move through this world very differently from me.
Right.
The thing is, so the thing is, like, yes, you're going to experience, oppressions, and yes, there are discrimination laws against, gay people. And the thing is, I understand in my asexuality, if I do choose to date, or honestly, like, let's pause there. Why do people care so much about who I date? Like, first of all, I can't even get a text back. Like, y'all let me know who the heck is interested in me, because as far as I know, like, anyway, my
Listen,
community knows
you
what is
might have
going
a
on with
hit.
me.
I'm telling you. I don't know if I even
Whatever.
told you this story like as a small segue. Okay Cupid, if that still exists, I don't know. I'm married now, but my spouse and I met on Okay Cupid, and there is a very large sector of people, specifically in the Boston area, that really liked me, and they were this is so embarrassing to bring up. Um, they were
It's
juggalos.
fine.
Like
We're being vulnerable
it's
together.
oh, let's be vulnerable together. Like people that enjoy Insane Clown Posse, like with the makeup and everything. My
Yes.
DMs on OkCupid were flooded, and I was this close to deleting OkCupid, and then Kip ended up DMing me. So there's that. So if anybody is
Oh,
really like, you know what, I want somebody, the juggalos and juggalettes, they're out there for you, my dears. But going off of that, so you were saying, yeah, like, do you feel that way just in general? Like, even just talking about as a content creator, like you said that you're a very private person.
I
So
am. So this is so vulnerable for me. So I'm like holding on for dear life.
yeah.
Um, here's the thing. For me, it can never just be queerness. It has to be there is always gonna, so like, I'm gonna go on my tangent, and I hope that's okay. Like,
Please.
I hope other people understand when we talk about intersectionality, the intersections that always happen, you are at the center, and all those roadways exist simultaneously.
Hmm.
So I cannot say that it's just because of my queerness. I
Hmm.
cannot say it's just because of me being a woman. I cannot say it's just because of my blackness. I cannot say it's just because of like my mental. I can't say it's just one thing. I don't know. And I honestly like love like black girl TikTok, or black, healing girl TikTok, or whatever you want to call it,
Hmm.
because it's like opening a lot of my eyes, that like, especially as a dark skinned woman, we have been told by everyone, even in our community, that you are ugly, you are not desirable. So it's like, oh, okay. So what do I do with that information? And now I'm like, in this position to have a platform. And it's very strange to have people in my comments being like, oh my God, Milady, like, you're so beautiful. I don't believe you. Like, I don't know. Like, you can say that all you want. And I'm really like, I love that you feel that way. I don't believe you. Because the thing is like, I'm a very much a product of the environment that has been fostered, or that has been created to tell dark skinned, black girls and black women that you are the bottom of the like you are the bottom of the food chain. Bottom. And the thing is, it's that comes from like even within the black community. That's not something that is just outside, because then when you look outside, then that's just like pure blown racism, or it's fetishization. So like, ooh, I don't date black girls, but I'll sleep with you. You know what I mean? So it's like it's very odd. Um but then when you talk about asexuality, like my ex from like years ago,
Mhm.
I call him the Gemini. Like, when I tried to explain like how I was feeling, but I didn't have the word asexual to in my vocabulary to express exactly what I was feeling or how I was identifying or what was going on within me. Like that, like, even if I did have that word to explain how I was feeling, he is not somebody who would have accepted that. So now, not only do you have like this ace phobia, now you have, gender-based violence
Mhm.
that is going on. So then it's like you have that. And then, that contributes to my mental health deteriorating
Right.
and like these high expectations. Like pretty much this child wanted, he wanted a second mom. So like, why aren't you being a great partner? Why aren't you being this, that, and the fourth? Like, why aren't you being all these things? Sorry, Zuko is in here.
It's
Um,
okay.
so like it's always like these things that these crossroads that always intersect. So like I don't know how to answer that question
Mm.
because I can't just answer it from the aspect of of one marginalization because they all intersect.
Mhm.
And not to say that like white gay men don't go through other things like mental health or things like socioeconomic status and stuff, but like when it comes to just like queerness, like sure, you can probably answer that question, but like, what are the other things? Like, do you address your privileges in other areas? You
Right.
know what I mean? Do you talk about like your privileges and how like everything with queerness centers on whiteness? That when it comes to queerness, queer studies, even gender studies, like
Yeah.
your face is always the center of everything. And it's like, no offense, when do y'all take a back seat and shut up
Yeah.
for like 1 second, please?
Absolutely. And
And if I hurt anybody's feelings, I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I don't care. Because
you
I'm quite like quite honestly, like it's very frustrating because like when you're trying to understand yourself, like you really have to find your own like queer groups to try and understand who you are.
Mhm.
Like even in Philly, like when there's pride going on, there's two different prides because like even though pride was started by like POC women, like you don't like that acknowledgement is just never even there.
Mhm.
Like now y'all are the center of it
Mhm.
when you don't even know your roots.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I don't think anybody is going to take offense to that, and if they are, then they're not meant to be here anyway. It's
And they can't
honestly,
fight me. So
it's a breath of fresh air to be so open about this and to discuss intersectionality. And you
yeah.
and I ourselves discussed a little bit ago. Um, I'm kind of going back to, like Dead by Daylight, and,
Yeah.
prior fog whispers of there being like a certain type of LGBTQIA plus individuals that keep getting, like
Into the program.
into the program. Right, right, right. And how that in itself too is problematic because there's so many different types of folks within, LGBTQIA plus.
Yeah.
Sorry, alphabet mafia. Sometimes it is a mouthful for us all. Um,
Yeah.
and it can get really frustrating because you're only seeing one type of person when there's so many other people out there.
Yeah.
Um,
There are times like with Into the Rainbow,
mm,
for example, because I know I'm like on a lot of Dead by Daylight activations because of a lot of things that intersect with me. And
right, right, right.
honestly, because of the lack of diversity in the Fog Whisper program, which is something that I scream on the rooftops every single day. Like the Into the Rainbow, like I feel like there wasn't a lot of black representation, wasn't a lot of like black woman or black femme representation because like we weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not there.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know, of course, like, when like even like in the hosts, like there was just like again, like whiteness is centered.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's kind of frustrating and it's very isolating. So it's very tough to have those conversations when like I know like people like get sick of it when I talk about like often I talk about like especially as a black woman and it's like oh like women like stand together like I don't believe that because white women are way are just way too toxic. way too toxic because that whiteness is never checked
Mhm.
ever. So like when I bring that up and like if it gets on your nerves, then like just know that like white women have been dangers to black women. It doesn't queer or not.
Mhm.
So like there's gonna be some distance that I have there always
Mhm.
because it's just like I don't know what you're about. Like, have you checked your internalized patriarchy? Have you checked your whiteness? Do you continue to check that every single day? Do you have a problem when I bring up black issues? Do I have a problem when you talk about like a Texas abortion ban that I say I don't care that like because black women and like indigenous women have been going through this and saying the same things for years, but you don't care until it affects you.
Mhm. Big time.
Oh well. Like it sucks, but we've been trying to tell you, or the only thing that you can attribute it to is The Handmaid's Tale, which is fiction. And black and indigenous women are real.
Real, been living through it, been talking about it. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as we continue talking about, like, again, intersectionality,
Yeah.
we have a little bit of time. I wanted to see if the chat had any questions, but something
Yeah.
else I wanted to see if we can touch base on is, like your time with Twitch and where you're hoping to go. Like, you've done, I just want to, like, just point out, because I'm sure that you know, but I'm going to remind you again.
Oh
You
God.
do so much. I am
Do I?
literally, yes. Don't give me any of this. You do so much. Like between Sisters of the Fog, doing your own stuff, cosplay, you're with nanny talent for management. I
Nani.
think
Yeah.
Nani, yeah. You're like you're doing so much, doing activations here, doing things here. Like what are you looking forward to for the future, for using your platform for, even if it doesn't have to do with, asexuality in general, but like just being able to, you know, um, uplift, or just like where would you see you maybe like by the end of this year?
This year.
Yeah. Or maybe within
Um.
like the next few years, even if it doesn't have to be this year.
Um. Hmm. Like I honestly, I want to keep like pushing my content. I want to keep growing. I want to be a YouTube partner. It's really tough to get like support over there because like, algorithms don't really like dark skin or when you talk about certain topics
Hmm.
unless if you do look like me, it's about trauma.
Hmm.
So that's something that I'm really working hard toward. And I honestly like when you say I do so much, it's so interesting because like I beat myself up every day and say I'm not doing
You're not doing it
enough.
enough. Yup.
Oh,
I feel that. Don't
I
call
don't
me
I
out,
don't
please.
yeah, I don't know. Like so I'm I'm really trying to do that. Um I do always have cosplays and stuff in mind. There's other things that I want to do as far as like certain projects that I want to work on as far as like in the comic book area. There's a lot of like yeah, I just want to have support on projects that center on black women and on blackness and honestly asexuality and how that looks in queer
Hmm.
spaces that are decentered from whiteness.
Hmm.
Because I believe we were talking about this story about, I'm sorry, I have to get the cat out of
Oh,
here.
that's okay.
Get out. You are a nuisance.
In chat, if you have any questions for Milady Confetti, plop them right down. I'll make sure to copy and paste, uh, and we can ask Confetti.
Yeah. I was so like I don't know, like I want to like have that done because I know we were speaking in Discord before
Hmm.
about like I think you asked me something about what did you ask me? No, it has something to do with like pronouns or like, something has somebody ever like misgendered me or anything like
Oh,
that.
right, right,
And
right. Yes, yes.
that's what it was. And like honestly, like the thing is like I think I spoke about like um there are some people out there who do like refer to me as they, and I've
Hmm.
never like had an issue with that at all.
Mm,
But it's very strange like when I talk about these intersections because I do say dark skinned black women on purpose
hmm.
because there is a very different experience with colorism because colorism affects people within her same race who are of darker skinned. And I will not be gaslit about that at all.
Hmm.
But the thing is, like with dark skinned black women, we are hyper masculinized. So it's like, I feel like I've never ever had like control over something like that. So it's never something I've given thought of because it's just like people are going to do what they want to do. Just like how they project the fact that like, oh, like she must be gay. They project that onto me, or I must be this, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, or the word tomboy, I hate that word so much. Um, like a lot of stuff just got projected on me. So it's just like, even if that was something I wanted to explore, I wouldn't even know where to begin because every resource and everything that's out there is so centered on whiteness. I'm just like, that's not the same, that's not going to be the same experience as me. Like even Bell Hooks, like kind of talks about this. Who Bell Hooks is, an amazing writer, Black woman. She recently passed away. Please read more Bell Hooks. Read everything by her. Periodic Table. But like even when she starts to talk about like gender and how Black women like come into their own or coming of age and things like that, it's still very limited because even she is a Black woman who grew up in a white supremacist society. So a lot of things like get taken away from us as dark skinned little girls, where we're just hyper masculized and put into this thing. Like look at how people treat Michelle Obama just
Right.
because she has biceps. Or just because like she looks the way that she does, or her skin tone is a certain way that she is, or her curl pattern is a certain way. um so it's like it's just very interesting, like how do you even have those conversations when like society literally takes everything away from you?
Right.
It's really
Right.
hard.
Right. Are you hoping that Twitch does more for any sort of events, specifically, uh, you know what, like even going back to what your mother was saying, right, about doing something that's centralized around um, Pride, but for like the Black community?
That would be nice, but it wouldn't happen.
You're saying no?
I no, like it would be nice.
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
I
but
know
you
it
just
won't
know it
happen.
won't happen.
Yeah, I know it won't. Because the thing is like I feel like in a lot of spaces, and I feel like this in higher education, and I feel like this in corporate settings as well. Like in order the reason why there's a like I feel like it's not I'm not saying this to like dismiss anybody's struggle or dismiss anybody's marginalizations or any laws or anything like that, because the reason why a lot of things with queerness gets marketable is because whiteness and white faces are the spearhead of it.
Hmm.
And that's unfortunate. So like I said, it's very sad. But it'll never be like a Black femme like me who like gets to spearhead something like that or be the face of something like that. Um so I don't think that it would happen. So I feel like they're, yes, maybe under one entire umbrella in a perfect world we're all supposed to get along, but people don't know their history. So they lead in to what they know, which is white supremacy.
Now, do you think that could happen for individual game companies? You know, like bring back up Dead by Daylight and how Dead by Daylight has evolved, and it's still not there. But
No.
things have been. You'd mentioned before that things have been getting a little bit productive. Could you see that maybe doing that with VHS as an example? Because we're playing that today.
I would say VHS, yes, because I think they take initiative to check the bigotry in their community now
Mm-hmm.
versus waiting 5 years to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think it's because they also have a good like blueprint to go off of, right? Something similar to what YouTube can be doing, when they've seen like the what's happened with Twitch, like it's good things that it's established and it's bad things that it's established. Um, or do you think that VHS just in general, like the developers, the people behind it, they they're just on their game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the folks who are like behind, like as far as like say like the communications team or the comm
Mm,
team or the what is it called, like partner managers and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that for behavior. I'm not
yeah.
saying that they don't care. I
No, no,
feel like
no.
they are some of like the biggest advocates for
Hmm.
things, but honestly, it might not be the person that they directly answer to. It might be who they answer
Answer to.
to,
Right,
who's
right, right,
above them. That's
right.
like,
The
nah,
big
chill
higher
on
ups.
that.
Yeah,
Chill on that.
yeah.
So I don't know, because like who DM'd me or who emailed me was the CEO, and he was like, yeah, like we don't have like we like even though like there is this randomized system or whatever, but how it looks to the outside,
Hmm.
it doesn't look good. It's
Hmm.
not a good look.
Hmm.
So you know if the CEO is behind that, I think like, he has more power to have a direct impact on what gets out there and what's not
Mhm.
versus not saying that like Helping Games isn't a corporation per se, but
Mhm.
I don't know that they are as large as Behavior Interactive.
Mhm.
Where there is a bunch of chains and commands and red
Right.
tapes and stuff that they have to go through to
Right.
get even something like a Black History Month
Right.
approved.
Right. Right. And there was a I mean, it never used to be that big with behavior, but obviously, generating lots of money and time and stuff over the years, um,
Yeah.
it has absolutely expanded into,
Yeah. And they
what
don't
it is now.
It isn't their only game, y'all. They have other
Oh yeah.
things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a
They
lot of people forget about that too. I mean, I do you remember Death Garden? Did you play Death Garden?
I did play Death Garden. I
Yeah.
really loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just kinda they like
Died
yeah.
twice.
Yeah, I was about to say twice.
Twice.
Yeah, and I think they ended up giving the Meg mask away for free, or maybe you still had to download it, but,
You still had to buy it. Yeah, it
yeah,
was a $30 cosmetic.
that was it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, I
But
mean,
yeah,
they're
that's gone now.
they're not this small company that a lot of people think they weren't once were. Um,
Yeah.
so, I do wonder if,
They have offices with air conditioning. They're doing
they're
well for
good. They're
themselves.
better than my middle school. Uh honestly, that's wonderful. Would you like to jump into VHS now, and we can still keep talking? I'm gonna have like tabs and stuff up, as much as we can can multitask. I did realize though I forgot to send you my code, so if anybody sees me moving around the camera at all for you, I have to send you my code in VHS for us to
Oh,
play
yeah.
together.
I've never played with anyone, so this will be my first experience doing that.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that we're going to stay in Discord for chats. I don't know if you have it turned on or off so you can hear other people. Um, so I would just double check that. But
Like how you're talking to me right now?
no, there's a setting in the game and I can walk you through it myself too.
Okay.
If you want
I'm
to.
like, I've heard you this whole time, I think.
No, no, no. Like there's a setting in the game if you want to, because there's like a voiceover option. I never play with it because I just don't trust people, especially
Oh, no,
people
yeah.
I don't
When
know.
you stream too, and then they'll like,
Yeah.
and if they figure out you're a streamer, they like say vulgar words
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah, because people can be like that, and the community has been wonderful so far. But I just, I can never
people be
people
peopling.
be peopling, and I can never take that chance.
Yeah.
Um, oh,
But
naturally,
if
now that I
people
say
also
that,
did have questions, I just did want to get to that point, because that was a very interesting like coming of moment that
yeah,
when we were speaking. So I did want to touch on that last
yeah,
point. But
please,
if people do
absolutely,
have questions,
yeah, y'all. If
I
you
will
have any
try to answer them.
questions, please like plop
I
them in
will
the
say
chat.
though, if you do get too personal, I will not answer because
Beautiful.
this is a lot
Look at
for
this. We
me.
love
So
this
that's
setting a
my boundary.
boundary. I love. We just said it at the same time. Not me talking about that today too, where I'm like, yeah, my health has been really crappy the last few days. I had to set that boundary, and I did pretty good today, and I'm starting to feel better. Gee, I wonder why. Um, so you were talking a little bit earlier too. I'm gonna move our screen over, so hold on 1 second for me. Oh, naturally, it's not coming up. Hello, OBS. You wanna throw me a bow? Okay, there we are. So you were talking to me a little bit earlier about like different pronouns and the usage for them. You still prefer she, her, but you don't mind they at all.
I don't mind at
You
all.
don't mind
Yeah,
they. No.
yeah, because it happens all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
like I've never minded, but
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like the in-depth conversations like that I've had for years
Mm-hmm.
when it's come to like am I gay or not? What is asexuality? What is great asexuality? What is a romantic?
Mm-hmm.
What is like these things to me? Like all those deep seated conversations where I've come to conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one that is just covered in haze because I'm like, I can't like, where do I even start this conversation with myself? And like,
Right.
I don't know what the end result is going to be. I don't
Right.
know, but
Absolutely.
like, I'm just going to say the resources are really tough out there for, because like I said, that intersection always has to exist.
Mm-hmm.
It has to exist for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if not, then I'm very much not interested.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now resources, what do you mean by that? Like intersectional sorts of resources or just in general?
I mean, I would say both.
Okay.
Like when I try to Google things and everything like that, it's just like not to like discount any, because I know it is very, very, very scary to, move about this world and, you know, go and be the other. And especially in such a outwardly, presenting way. I know that that's difficult.
Hmm.
And, I can only empathize to a certain degree because, like I said, as a dark skinned Black woman, there are a lot of things that are removed from me.
Hmm.
My femininity is removed from me. Like we talk about the strong Black woman archetype,
Hmm.
like I'm not given access to femininity because like being strong, being independent, being, self-serving and all those things are typically things that are associated with masculinity.
Hmm.
So like when you try to be soft or dainty and all those other things, it's just like stop doing that.
Right,
Like
right.
Black women literally get stole, like they Black women get yelled at on like social media, get yelled at in life for being like soft, feminine, and dainty. Like get attacked for it.
Hmm.
So like we're not given access to those things. So it's just like it's very hard. So like as far as resources, I would want to see where those intersections are.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, because you were just talking about, femininity and looking feminine as a dark skinned Black woman, how did the Cinderella cosplay like make you feel, and how did that feel like when you were posting it and showing that side?
I hate you.
Why? I mean, I know why, but why?
Cause like I hate you. You're making me emotional.
I
I
don't mean
told
to.
I told Exilia and my friend Pete, and I think I talked to Pete a lot, but Exilia, I talked to both of them, but I said, this is the first time in my whole life I have ever felt beautiful. And it was very emotional.
I didn't mean to do this to you. Oh my God.
No,
Hold on. I
it's
need
fine.
tissues now.
But like that's an honest like you can I'm like you can go ask them like but whatever, but I said like that's the first time I ever felt beautiful, and like I can't say that to my mom. She's like, well, you look like me, like what do you mean? And like people call me beautiful. I'm like, mom, you're light skinned. Like we have very different we have very different trajectories in life. Like so like even when people describe me compared to my mom, I do look like her, thank God, because like my real dad is ugly. But like when like people always describe me as like the dark skinned version of her, and I'm like, but why can't I just look like my mom? Why do I always have to have that qualifier?
Right,
So
right.
like when I wore that dress and like Exilia was like tying me and chaining me into that corset, Jesus Christ, I couldn't breathe. I told her that I was just like, this is amazing. She was just like, I understand. And then that's like what he also said. He's like, I get it. I get it. Like I don't, because he is a white man, but he's like, I understand. So
How big of
not
a,
you making me show emotions
I
on the
didn't mean
on a
to. My
Wednesday.
goodness.
You're
Well,
lucky I'm wearing Fenty.
oh my God. Well, mine is just rolling on down right now. I didn't powder that good today. Um, did you, so outside of, feeling really beautiful for that shoot, and that was the first time that I think you had said to me too, because I loved that shoot. Like I had always loved um Brandy Cinderella. Like I grew up with that. I just like it's
Yes.
still my favorite to this day. And I remember, saying like, "Oh my God, I want prints of that." And you were like, "What? What do you mean?" And I'm like, "I want to pay
Oh,
you
Prince. I'm
like
like the a prince. I'm
no, no,
like,
no,
who the
like
hell?
like
What? There
like
was a prince there?
photography. I mean, I'm sure there was like photography prints, and you
No.
were you were so blown away. Like, what do you mean? like like
Why would you want
what?
that?
Yeah, yeah. And because I just thought how much like hard work that you had put into that, like the time and the energy spent, and just how incredible like the photos turned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Faye was saying like demanding prints from it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I mean it. Like thank you so much. Um,
Yeah.
I can tell
It's
how
just very
like
it's very
vulnerable you were with
tough.
there. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very tough because it's like I don't understand how like, and like maybe everybody's journey is different, but
Mm,
it's just like how are you supposed to like feel a certain type of way or have like Megan the Stallion confidence, which she has even said,
mm-hmm.
Megan the Stallion, our Lord and Savior. She has said, she's like, I don't feel like awesome all the time. I don't feel um, you know, like a baddie all the time. Like I get times where they're down. And even as beautiful as Megan Thee Stallion is, because she is a dark skinned, tall, muscular black woman, she even gets masculinized. But the
Hmm.
only time that her body and her body type is accepted, or her skin type is accepted, is because people think that like the way that, she appears to be sexy is for others' entertainment is when it is acceptable.
Right.
So, like, if you are put in this hyper masculinized category, the only time you have access to some form of femininity is through your hypersexualization, which, like, that's not everybody's jam. And, like,
No.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Scorpio. I do the whole sexy thing by accident. It just happens. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Like my Tengen cosplay. Like, there are people who are still under my Tengen cosplay to this moment on TikTok and on Twitter who are sexualizing it. And I'm like, no one told you to do that to me.
Yeah.
I'm just
Wow.
existing.
Right.
And the thing is, it's like, is that like my asexuality like cringing? Is that like me as a woman cringing? What is it?
Hmm.
I don't know.
I mean,
Because
it
they
could be
all
a little bit
exist
of
at the same
everything.
time.
Exactly, right? Like you just said, it could be everything and every part of that. Before because we're still chatting here, I'm actually just going to switch our screen back just so I have this and we don't have like the monster in between us showing up.
Oh, that's me.
With
Hi, Gizmo.
hello. I do have a question from the audience from
Oh,
Yellow
God.
Bear. Um,
Oh, here we go.
Here we
See,
go. Do you
troll.
have an LGBTQIA plus / queer person or person's fiction, nonfiction that you look up to or admire? Great question.
Hmm. Well, I have claimed Aloy to be an asexual queen. And I absolutely, absolutely love her from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also just, I don't honestly like I absolutely love Cardi B. And I also love Megan Thee Stallion. I know like there are the things that she has like said like that she is like I believe that they're both bisexual. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like they are people who are, well, one is not real and the other two are very much real. Are people because they just own themselves. And the thing is, I like for fact for them as like I know like Cardi B is Afro Latina and Megan Thee Stallion is black, but I love that they're vulnerable and they say like I'm not always like this baddie persona that y'all see. Like I have my moments as like a human where I am weak, and that is very normal. And I absolutely love that for them. So there are people that I look up to. That's why I always
Love
like
that.
reference Megan all the time because I absolutely I love her. And like I can't like say like because I'm not always like I don't always have all the answers and I'm not always confident.
Yeah.
Like I'm just
You're
tripping through
human.
life and
You're
trying to
human
figure it
too.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm trying to figure out how to like I had to confess my feelings a few weeks ago because I lost my mind. Like child hormones and everything was just going wild. And I was just like, child, what? Why am I ovulating? All this nonsense. And like I spilled my guts to the person that I like. And I'm just like, I want to die. Like, oh
It
my
was
God,
too
why did I
much.
do this? It was a lot for me. But like I wasn't, there's just a lot of areas where I just like I feel very vulnerable and I feel not okay. And they make it be known that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
While also have that intersecting those other intersecting identities
Right.
too.
Right.
You know?
I
That's why
love
that
that.
representation matters to
Yeah.
me.
Yes. Big time.
Yellow bear hit you.
Absolutely. Mm. And New brings up a great point. It's important for them
Love
to
me.
say that because people really think perception is reality. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why like I love like Cardi B's like Instagram lives and like her Instagram stories and stuff like that because like oftentimes like she's just home in sweatpants. She's
Hmm.
not in makeup. Like she still have her nails on or she'll show herself like doing her nails.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion like on her live show she'll just be like chilling. Like same thing. Like she'll be doing her makeup or whatever. But like they're people.
Hmm.
Like they very much humanize themselves. Also with Megan Thee Stallion, she is a huge like anime person. So like that
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
vibes with me because I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like, can y'all please stop saying that black girls don't like anime? She was on the cover of Esquire magazine in a Todoroki cosplay. Like,
Yes.
please stop
I
it.
love that.
She's amazing. I love her.
I love that. And you said you were a huge fan of anime. Like what are some of your favorite animes?
Yu Yu Hakusho. It's my favorite anime of
that
all
you
time.
got me into, and my spouse
Yep.
did too. I was like,
Yep.
so Confetti told me about this one, and they literally ran upstairs. They're like, it's on Hulu, let's go. So
Yeah.
we binged so
Period.
many. Oh, I haven't finished it yet, but we binged so many episodes. Oh my God. And then I started a Sailor Moon, a week or two
Crystal?
ago. Whatever the original one
The 90s.
was
Okay,
from the
yeah.
90s. And it really reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho. I don't know if they came out around the same time, but like the humor is
Yeah.
very similar.
Because the people who created, so the woman who created Sailor Moon and the guy who created Yu Yu Hakusho are married in real life.
You just blew my mind. Are you
Yeah.
really? That makes so much sense to me now.
They're married, yeah. And the person who created Yu Yu Hakusho, he's been very, very ill for years. So like Yu
Oh,
Yu Hakusho as an anime has ended, but there is another work that he did called Hunter x Hunter that is not complete. And
oh,
and people are like, "Oh my god, like, complete it, finish it, finish it." Like this man has been sick for like an upwards of like a decade.
yeah,
Like let him rest because he burnt himself out. He ran
yeah,
himself into the dirt because that industry is really tough.
right.
So what his wife is doing is learning his art style. So if something happens to him, like the series is able to be continued on with with her in charge.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
because obviously the art style between Yu Yu Hakusho and Sailor Moon are very different. So
Very
she's
different.
learning she's
Yeah,
learning his style.
yeah. Oh my God, that's incredible. Oh my God, I can't wait to tell everybody this. I'll be like, I have information. God, and I thought it was just me. I'm like, am I just equating the two because it's Yu Yu Hakusho is my most watched anime that I've seen. I'm still very
Hmm.
I find myself very new to anime in general.
It's fun. Welcome.
So
We have
thank
snacks.
you. I'll bring some too, and some Gatorade. So between that and like watching Cowboy Bebop, I started. I'm like maybe halfway through Attack on Titan. So
Bless.
I'm not super aware of everything. So I went, am I making the connection? It's because it's the one that I watched the most of. But I
Yeah.
guess turned out no.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Awesome.
And I can't even get a text back. And here we go. We have this woman learning her husband's art style. Child, please.
Honestly, stepping up the bar every day.
Every day. So
Would
how do I join
Yep.
your thing?
So let me get the screen back over. So if y'all see anything, no, you do not. Actually, you know what? Let me do this first so that I
Here's
can
a
get you
monster.
my ID, which is going to be. Oh, actually, let me show you this first. So if you go into settings
Settings.
and then go to privacy,
Privacy.
um, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under streamer mode. Do auto mute non-party members, and you
Oh, that's
should.
been checked.
Oh, it has been? Okay, then you shouldn't be able to hear anybody or communicate with them.
Sweet.
And then you can also like put on matchmaking delay, whatever the other ones are. Sometimes I hide my display name if I'm feeling like I'm gonna be, I don't know. I don't want to be perceived sometimes, so I like that that's
That is
there.
very real. That's very real.
And then let me get you my ID, which I have to go back into settings because I have mine hidden. Because again, I don't want to be perceived. um, okay. So it's gonna be the Epic ID. No, I can't even spell my damn name. All right, hold on.
What is spelling?
I don't have it anymore. So that's going to be my ID. So if you go into the friends list, at the bottom it says add friend. So if you do that, I'll be able to see it. Ah, there you are.
Look at me
Beautiful.
copy and pasting.
I love it. All
I
right,
learned something today.
let me switch over because I was playing Monster the other day. Can you believe it? I
I'm
never
proud of
do.
you.
I don't know what happened to me. I think I'm going to stay as Brett. All right, so then there
Yes,
you
Brett.
are.
Makes
All right,
me want to go to the gym.
invite you
Work
to
out
the
my
party.
quads.
I know, right? He's almost too borderline muscular. He reminds me so much like his entire aesthetic reminds me. Did you ever watch Saved by the Bell?
No,
No.
I did not.
It looks very Saved by the Bell, like very like
Living
80s
single?
borderline on 90s. Like like very much like what? What is this? All right. I'm sending us in. We'll see if a match is coming up shortly. If y'all have any other questions for us, please, please, please let us know. We still have time. We're going to be here for like 45 more minutes. I think I did math correctly. 40,
Ooh,
40, hold on. I'll get this right. 48 more minutes we will be online.
sweet.
I did it. I didn't even need a calculator for that. Um, so you said that, you would come out during Pride on Twitch. Do you think there's ever a certain time to come
My
out?
parents.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like do you ever think that there's a certain time to come out to family, to friends, when you feel like maybe the moment's right, when you feel really at peace and at ease with who you are as a person?
I think for me, I just felt like the time was right,
Mm,
and I did feel at peace because I'm just like, yeah, this is who I am.
mm-hmm,
Um, accept it or nuck if you buck, pretty much.
mm-hmm,
So that's always my answer. It's just like, well, if you don't like it, fight me. Like, what do you want to
mm-hmm.
do? Yeah, it just felt right to me. As far as like my parents are concerned, like it is what it is. I don't know. Because it was just so random because it's just like, oh, why do you have a billboard in Times Square? Like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
What are all these colors? Um, yeah, I think that was just kind of laid on, but there was the initial fear, not necessarily from my mother, but from my stepfather. So
Stepfather,
like
right?
just do what you know is like safe for
Mm-hmm.
you. Um, because like I knew that my mother was going to have my back regardless. Um, so just like make sure that you're also like in a safe environment to do so. So if that's like
Absolutely.
via text, that's easier. If
Mm-hmm.
some people like I've known have like written people letters, which is very poetic and elegant. I wish I could do that. Like you have to buy a stamp and everything. Do what, feels right to you. If you want to
Right.
do it on a New York City billboard,
Mm-hmm.
go off.
Yeah. I love that.
Um, yeah, it felt natural to me. So
Yeah.
like do what feels natural to you and make sure that you're safe.
Yeah.
But
And
also, I mean, don't let anybody box you in. Like I said, I'm very much me and my mother are Scorpio. So like it's very much like let's just confront this and deal with this thing head on.
mm-hmm.
And that's why I really wanted to confront the whole like just don't be comfortable with me because of my proximity to like who I may date. Like who even says I want to date at all?
Right, right,
Like the thing
absolutely.
is like you're basing like who I am and qualifying who I am from somebody who I don't that doesn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like what are you doing?
Yeah. And I mean,
That's really weird.
like conversely, the same thing could be true too. You just said, don't box yourself in. If you don't feel like super comfortable stating that you're X, Y, or Z, you don't owe that to anybody, Like things are moving, things are changing, and you can just be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
You
And
know, and
I am very
yeah.
comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
There's just certain spaces that I personally don't take up
Mm,
because of my privilege of
mm-hmm.
like what I would do. And I would say like correct me if I'm wrong or using like the wrong language here, but like
Yeah.
based on like I guess perceived gender like privilege
Mm-hmm.
of like say like this person who I like spill my guts to, like say that we were like to date, like, and I would hold this person's hand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sure, based on gender, there is privilege there. Like I
Yes.
could hold this person's hand in
Yes.
public because of
Yes.
privilege.
Yes.
Now, where a lot of people have to check people is like, but race, the racial component,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a problem with that
Right.
because
Absolutely.
he is
No,
a white
keep going. Keep going. We're still having great convo.
Oh
If you
no,
feel like you
no.
can
I was
multitask, like keep
I was
going.
saying I was like, he's a white man, so like
Mhm.
there's going to be, issues with that.
Right,
That's
right.
always
This was
and
a
somebody and people have already done that and like me and this person are not dating. Like we've just existed in public and
mhm.
like he's been like called names. I've been called names. I remember when I went to dinner, King, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about this. I love King. King is a
It's a
sweetheart.
werewolf.
Oh my god. He's going to
Um,
howl at me.
he howled at me. Um, Me and King, like when we went to dinner and I was with with this person, like we got like yelled at because it's just like, well, why are these like fine like dark skinned people with this white man? I'm like, Dang, both of us?
I literally still can't believe that that's a thing. Like, I'm not saying that obviously, like, I don't believe you, but when you first told me that story, I went,
It was very strange.
you're just out. You're just
We
eating.
were
You're
literally
hanging
just
out with
walking.
friends.
Yeah.
My
And I
God.
forgot my card, like my vaccination card, because in New York you do have to have it.
Same with
And
Boston. Yeah.
yeah, so I forgot. So like we had to walk back and this person was just like literally antagonized us. But then when we had to go back the second time, he only focused on me because I guess he realized that like this person wasn't dating two people. He wasn't dating either of us. So
Right.
it was just very odd. Why is this baby naked?
Hold on. I got him.
Nice.
Well, the person was just trying to shoot me. I'm like, no, I'm on your side. I'm picking you up right now. But yeah, that is, oh my God. That is absolutely wild. I was telling you the story before.
Oh God, there's a wolf.
Oh, is he back? Oh, he is. Don't worry. I got you. Oh, no, hold on. Run. What?
Oh, there's a wall there.
Oh,
I didn't see the wall.
oh, on the side?
Over
Oh,
for
I
me.
see what you're talking about.
Wow.
Oh, he's right by me.
That felt very
Oh,
phobic, personally.
Shit.
And like
I mean,
you're gonna do that
shoot.
during Black History Month? Like,
Shoot.
wow.
This wolf is after you. Teen wolf.
This is why I'm Team Edward, y'all. I just want to let y'all know this. This is why.
Did you see what I changed my banner to on Twitter? I don't even know if people look at that anymore. It's the scene in the first Twilight movie where Edward is in biology class and like with the fan. And yeah. And I don't know why. I said, you know what? This is going to be my new personality trait now. So I'm going to put this as my Twitter header. All right. There's fire up here somewhere. How many times have you played VHS? A handful?
I've played it like 3 or 4 times.
Okay. So still very new. I don't have a lot of hours in it. Might be coming back up this
But
way.
it's very fun.
It
but
is.
It's definitely like there's some of the killers that are a little bit need adjusting, and I know that is not their focus.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you keep running into that sea creature like over and over again, that's when I start to like lose heart, and I'm like, okay, can you stop doing?
Yeah, and I remember when like the keys, because you even brought that up before that, they're not being sent out to a lot of people. So they were keeping like the pool small. So at a certain point, you kept going against like the same two monsters. So
Right.
you'd be like, oh, okay, this person is playing Doll Master. They're really good. And that was really frustrating because, you couldn't go after them. You already immediately knew before that you were getting into a game of, oh, this is going to be like a disaster.
Right.
I'm like 99% sure that
I'm
early
dead.
access is coming soon. Did you? Oh my God, I'm going to resurrect you.
I couldn't because he kept screaming, so I couldn't shoot him with the gun.
Oh no. Nerd Up has a question for you. Any big plans for cosplays later in the year? Any characters in mind that you might want to share with us?
Yes.
Okay. So yes. Yes, there will be. And
I never share who I'm gonna cosplay. I just kind of vibe, and it just drop stuff and then leave.
And then, like, yes, and be on the lookout. I love that. It's the air of mystery for me. He's after me again. He's gonna pop me down. Oh, I just swung around him.
I know. Yeah, I never say anything. There are times like there's like one where that I have to do, like, but it's not coming anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said I'd cosplay a character that I hate, so the community very toxically voted for Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
But just like at Kingdom Hearts, she can wait.
Yeah. Well, so that's beautifully wonderful and fine about, like not revealing, because I think that's really exciting for us to find out. Would you be able to tell me about the cosplay process? Like when you find out a character that you want to cosplay, for like example, maybe going back to Cinderella or something, from like initial, hey, I want to do this, How long does something like that take, especially if you shoot it professionally, or
So
by yourself if you set that
Cinderella,
up?
I always wanted to do that since I was a kid. So I mean, that particular one is a little different because that's like a childhood dream come true.
Mm-hmm. Or you could
But
like take one of
um,
your recent ones too as an example.
but like as far as planning that shoot because it was so professionally done, that took a year of planning. And I had to find because I'm the person like I'm like, okay, I need a team of people to do this. So I had a
Wow.
videographer, I had a
Yeah.
photographer, I had somebody who was there for equipment, and my mom was there initially to be nosy, and then she turned to security.
Gotcha.
And then me, the model, and the person who paid for everything out of pocket because nobody knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really had to like save and hunker down and stuff like that because it's very expensive. I had to have the bodice adjusted twice.
Wow. Okay.
Um, because there was I don't know where this revival thing is. Um,
You'll hear like a whispering, but if you don't have to get it if you don't want to. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be getting us soon anyway.
yeah, so I mean, there was just a lot of I wouldn't say there wasn't like unexpected costs. Like everything went fairly smooth.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people really underestimate like how expensive cosplay can be,
Oh
whether you
God,
make it,
yeah.
whether you make it, whether you buy it, whether you get, things customized
Mm-hmm.
and done to you for you. So that's why like I find it very insulting when people request for me to do things and then their wallets are closed.
Right.
Like I'm like, what are you doing?
Because you're taking all those funds yourself.
Right. And the
Yeah.
thing is, even if like it's something that's purchased, like I still put my heart and soul into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes out to very high quality. Like, not to knock anybody who like does like, you know, mirror selfies and stuff like that, but that's just not my style.
Right.
My style is like I want to be immersed in the cosplay and in the world of what I am doing as much as I possibly can to
Mm-hmm.
bring that character to life.
Yeah.
Um so um yeah, that's
Now, do you always try and shoot on location? Like, a great example that I can think of off the top of my head is that incredible Alice cosplay that you did. And
yes,
you were in like a very, like, can you tell me about the area? Because it was very like fairy tale. Did you say you were at an
the
amusement?
Philadelphia Magic Gardens.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, I found the thingy here.
Oh, you did? Hold on. Can you ping? Are you okay?
I'm
Oh God, he's still coming after me. Hold on.
yeah, so I did two Alice cosplay shots. I did regular Alice in Wonderland, then I did Alice the Madness Returns.
That's right.
Um so in the first Alice that you saw with the blonde hair,
Mm-hmm.
I shot that myself. And then my mom was just kind of there because she was like, I just want to see what this place is like because I had to rent out the whole space in order to take pictures. That's just what their rule is.
Okay.
Like I said, I have this like I save up for this stuff. So that's why like you don't there's certain cosplays that you just don't see a lot of
Mm-hmm.
because it's behind a paywall for a reason. It was very expensive to produce. So
God, yeah.
so I had to
I have to still go back and get the book.
oh yeah, no worries. So yeah, so like there's things that you just don't see once in a while. But the second one, the Madness Returns, I had a photographer for.
You did?
Because
Okay.
Alice is that Alice is very dark. She's very broody and like the story of that particular story, because that one is a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That particular game is a sequel, but it dives so much into her psyche and Wonderland, and it has such a very different perspective, and I absolutely love it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I did that one, and they didn't really mind the blood and stuff on the dress. I was like, I promise it's fake.
Yeah.
um,
Well, everything is
so
fine.
everything's fine, and I'm not gonna touch anything. So yeah, that was very, very fun. But yeah, the Philly Magic Gardens, they're really amazing. Please support your local arts. If you're in Philadelphia, support the local arts of Philadelphia. There's many
Yeah.
ways that you can get involved in that. Um, and if you are a student, they do take student discounts, so you can just bring your student ID
Oh,
and you don't have to pay.
nice.
I think it's only $30 to go in, but if you are a student, I think it's like 10.
That's still saving on money. I have no idea what direction he's coming in from. I've been trying to go into your direction to try and get the book to revive you, and then somebody will go down, so I'm trying to pick them back up. Okay. You are upstairs with me. I think you're super close by. Can you ping me again? Oh, you are. Okay, it's the sneaky room. Oh, is it under the desk over here?
Nope.
No. Wait. Where's... Oh, in this book. Okay. Oh, goodness. Hold on, I'm not over here. Don't perceive me. He didn't. Okay. It's so loud trying to open up
It is
this
very
book.
loud.
Not me going around like 12 times. So what's the favorite, like your most favorite spot that you have ever shot something? Whether yourself or like professionally for any of your cosplays.
Probably where I shot Cinderella.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Can you,
It's like, it's
can you
my
ping your
favorite.
body too for me? Like, just see.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, I'll try and find you. It's okay.
No, I'm happy.
But
I think I have to go to it, right? Is this me?
I think so. But definitely, oh, there you are. Yeah. So definitely those Cinderella for sure.
Yeah, that was a really cool place. I often shoot like in forests and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And get bitten and eaten alive.
Yeah.
Um,
So it was a nice change of pace to be like indoors and then just take some photos outdoors too.
yeah, because it was definitely a mix.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Wow.
You're a little zombie.
Zombie, look at me.
Look how cute. And can you hear the
I'm
little
not ashy.
do you hear the little
Yeah.
He's just so cute. I love it so much.
I've never been revived before.
Really?
This is amazing.
Wait until you see how you walk.
I'm screaming.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to heal me. Oh, we both got the shorts on too. We coordinated.
Yeah, when I got the shorts, I was like, oh yeah, this is me.
This is it. This is the look. All right, I am gonna go and pick up our person that's on the floor if you want to try and craft a weapon. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get this last one, but we will heckin' try.
That was the weapon that I had. Oh my god, how she's running. That was the weapon that I had before he downed me.
Oh, really?
So angry.
Oh, he got the rift. That's okay.
What does the rift do again?
So basically, the rift goes up if there hasn't been any confrontation between the monsters and the teens for like, I don't know, maybe it might be a 60 seconds or something. So basically, whoever claims the rift can then see the other side for, I think it's 60 seconds. So basically, the werewolf claimed the rift and then we were exposed so he could see our whereabouts.
Oh. My.
I know, it's good because it keeps the game moving along,
So
but...
he sees me running like this. Jeez.
Yeah. He's after me
Already
now.
had the whip.
Oh, there I went. I'm dead.
No.
I know. I'm gonna watch you. Wait, who am I spectating? Okay, there we are. It's the zombie run for me.
Wait, exit gate. What is he doing? Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Oh, they're almost done.
I don't know how to get there. Like, what? Can I web sling over?
Can you? You're a zombie. You know what? Never mind. You probably could. At this point, yeah, they're right over there. Oh, he's coming.
I wish we had some more ways to combat the killer because I feel like you could just run into a straight line.
I get that.
And then, like, there's no barriers. Like, there's nothing to slow them down. Like, there's nothing I can do.
They've said before that, like, especially in VHS as compared to any sort of asim games that we're used to, that, you know, weapons and fighting back is a main draw, but it's still kind of hard, right? Because there's still going to be chases in the game, so what can you do other than weapons? You know, you can hide, but a lot of folks kind of know where to check now.
Right.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, if I get into a chase, I know I'm going down.
Right. That's why it just feels like you're not gonna win.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what you do. So I don't know. Maybe there's things that you can.
I know that perks help a lot, but nothing in regards to chases. Oh, GG.
Yeah.
That was good. There's a Brett perk, which is the reason that I'm
Shea
using
butter, shut
him.
up, emo.
uh, that like when you go down, say you went down and you were holding that fire item, if you had that perk, you wouldn't have lost your item. One time a match, you can go down with an item and you can still use it, which is
Dang.
pretty awesome. Like, that could be like a match saving perk, you know?
Yeah,
I
I
do miss
agree.
head on though in lockers and stuff in this game.
Yes.
Found out
Yes.
really quick you don't want to be in a closet here.
Closet, yeah.
Yeah.
Not yes. Imagine
Yeah,
closet.
I know. How dare? How dare? So you had talked back about before, basically, like this is who I am, take it or leave it. How do you feel like you clap back when people invalidate you? And do you feel like you need to because you have a larger platform?
I feel like when it comes to, because like I don't do it as much anymore
Mm.
because like it's just it's annoying because like people will then engage with that, but like not the content that brings me happiness.
Right, right, right.
So like I don't want to just be known as and yes, I am defending myself and I do understand that people want to support, but it's like I do notice who only shows up and when.
Hmm.
I do notice that. And it's like I don't do what I do for the performance of white people. Like I
Hmm.
don't do that.
Hmm.
I don't. Then there's some people who do, but like this isn't a performance to me. Like this is violence
Hmm.
against me.
Hmm.
Like this is violence. Like this isn't some like circus or some type of show.
Hmm.
Like I feel like that's really really like normalized to see that or just like yes queen or like get them or whatever, and it's just like no, like, do you understand that this is violence against me? Do you understand that this is like threats and harm that's being done against me? Like, this isn't some form of entertainment. And the thing is, I know that it's viewed that way because minstrelsy is something that is very much tied into um, our culture.
Hmm.
And it's very normalized and it's very strange. Um, but also, like I said, like, I can post something about, educating on this type of topic. Because notice I don't do that anymore either. I don't do it anymore because it's just like, okay, I educate on this topic, but hey, I'm going live, support my content here. The thing about educating can get thousands of likes, but my content can get like, it used to be like 20, 20 engagement.
Yeah.
It hurts. That
Yeah.
hurts. Because the thing is, you're here for a show.
Right.
And yeah, algorithms and all the things like, they do suck. But it is very noticeable and it's very hurtful, so I stopped. And
Right.
the thing is it's like I pulled back a lot of things. Like I had organized a Black Lives Matter movement in a town and I announced where that was and somebody had actually showed up for, because nobody in my IRL life will greet me by my stage name. So
Okay.
when you greet me by my stage name, I know you are not here for good intent.
Gotcha.
Like you don't ask me for my autograph when I'm literally fighting for my rights.
Hmm.
Excuse you? Like that's not okay.
My
And
God.
that's very weird. So I was just
Yeah.
like, we're done here.
Yeah.
We're
Big
done.
time.
Full blown pullback because like this is funny to you. You showed up to a Black Lives Matter protest, not for Black Lives Matter.
Right. My God.
That's weird. You're weird.
That is
um
that is so uncomfortable.
mhm, it is.
So was that kind of the moment that you felt like you started pulling back with everything? Was that pretty much the catalyst of like
It was the exact moment.
that was it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I was just like, yeah, I'm done here. Um and I had my mentor tell me like, if there are things that you're excited about or things that you do, post it days later.
Mm.
So like one, people like don't figure out what is going on and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, that's really wise. Um, so like if something like that happens, I typically take that approach.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's it gets very, very, very scary. Like that's why I always talk about support Black Joy. I'm not harping on like toxic positivity because that is
Right,
something
right,
I'm not
right.
gonna act like things are smiles and rainbows. They're
Right.
not. um,
Absolutely.
but I do notice the difference.
Hmm.
And the thing is like, it comes from all angles, and it's very frustrating because it's just like, do people want to see you win, or are they mad that it's just not them? Like I talk
Right.
about this with the stream elements thing and how hurt I was by a
Hmm.
lot of things that resulted from that. But oh, sorry, the thing came by.
No, please, you're fine. I think I let him
But
by you.
but yeah, I want to be real, and I think is I do that, but like anybody asks me for things, like I think I had talked about, like I had introduced myself on TikTok
Mm.
yesterday because I had reached 40K, and then
Oh,
I talked
congrats.
about asexuality, and I was like, hey, like I am an asexual full-time content creator,
Hmm.
and somebody had asked me what that is, and I said my intellectual labor is not free.
Hmm.
You can either Google it or pay me.
Hmm. Now, well, you talked
That's the
about,
boundary.
yeah. And do you feel like you were spending more intellectual labor before you set that boundary? And
Yes,
did you feel like it cut into other portions
it
of
did.
who you were? Like
It drained me.
everything. Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
drained me so much, and I just wasn't happy. And the thing is like I wonder, when do you know black women, black little girls just get to do like what other kids do and just have a childhood or
Hmm.
just simply exist?
Hmm.
Like when do we get to do that? When do we just get to show up as a gamer?
Yeah.
I want that. And the thing is like with asexuality, um I feel like I have to clap back, but I feel like I have to always ask for assistance because I know like people automatically just say like it happened. It was so strange because that was like my first Pride Month. So
Hmm.
like it was so like, and it happens like periodically. Like people would just come out and say like that's not a real thing. You're just looking for an excuse to be marginalized. And
Wow.
I'm like, you just said it to a black person. Oh, I killed the monster or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
heck yes. Let's go.
I'm like, I'm an excuse. And I'm like, no, this is me. And I'm like, the thing is like, because I think with this is so personal,
Mm.
like, I guess it's just not something that's like seen.
Oh.
Uh-oh. It's not something that's always seen.
Hmm.
And the thing is like, okay, a lot of things aren't seen.
Hmm.
But like you can visually see that I'm black.
Right. Right. Right.
Like outside of like if you're talking about stereotypes, which I don't feed into because no. And I think stereotypes are just extremely harmful to the affected party or the marginalized party.
Hmm.
Like I can't see gay, I can't see homosexuality, I
Hmm.
can't see that. You can visibly see that I'm a black person.
Hmm.
So what conversation are we having here?
Hmm.
And again, it goes back to like the thing that you haven't suffered enough.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
haven't suffered enough to be valid here. Like, what do you suffer? And then I feel like I have to bring up trauma to invalidate myself that like, somebody harmed me sexually because of how I identify.
Right. And then it
But like,
brings into the whole situation again of, sharing that trauma and then sharing too
right,
much and oh my gosh, yeah.
right.
It's
And the thing is, it's like,
cyclical.
you don't, why? Because you can't see that. Okay. Okay. Sounds
God.
good, mate. And then like I know like in those times like I'll retweet like Faye's tweet, and then
Yeah.
Faye will come in and be like, all right, who am I
Yeah,
fighting?
yeah. What's
And
happening
then I'm
here?
like, what is going on? Or like somebody like Yellow Bear or K Lucky Dog will be like the main ones like, are you kidding me right now?
Yep.
And just go like curb stomp somebody. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to say?
Mhm.
Somebody tried to do that to me on of all people, Pleasantly Twisted's chain and invalidate me, not knowing that one, Pleasantly Twisted is also asexual.
Right, right,
And
right.
two, like you pick of all people on this internet to go at her?
Oh man, I
You're
am
gonna
getting that.
invalidate me on her chain? Good luck.
Unbelievable.
Good luck. It's just like, well, I feel like you're being this. And I'm like, I'm black. Will you shut up? What are you talking about? Yeah, that got deleted with the quickness.
I can imagine. Oh my god. Yeah, even Frisk was saying in chat, that stereotypes are so harmful, and they are.
And it's just like, and then you always feel like you have to fight for yourself. But then it's
Mm.
like, okay, well, I'm not going to be believed. So are you going to believe, somebody else over me? So then that's why I'm just like, I feel like I have to, like, and the thing is, like, I know they do it because they care for me and stuff like that. But like, I always have to fight the like inner monster in my brain saying,
Mm.
like, no, you're valid and you belong here.
Yeah,
And then like things
absolutely.
happen, like I said, like the gamer words, and it's like, oh, I know I'm not going to be there. Because I'm not queer enough. Or it's very interesting. I do think to myself sometimes in
Hmm.
between like anime episodes. I'm watching Bleach right now, but it's like I feel like in a lot of ways it's just like with queerness, do you have to be like open to being like overtly sexual too? And I don't mean like, I'm not talking about like dress or like anything like that. Like I'm talking about like
Like discussing sexuality.
discussing sexuality, discussing sexual things, or like play flirting or anything like that. Like I feel like, is that like the only way for you to like be valid in queerness? Which like obviously no.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like that's like a standard.
Well, I
And it's
I
like,
will agree with you because the people and creators, like, if I can just talk openly about, like, in the streamer space, I feel like I understand where you're coming from because those are the
right,
creators that get uplifted for sure.
right.
For sure.
So it's like, do I have to talk about like, I can't even say it. Like that's just not me personally.
Yeah.
Like do I
And that's
have to
okay.
be like overtly, like as far as like speaking is concerned,
Mm,
sexual? Or like the thing is, and also because I don't ever want to sexualize somebody else because I don't know how they're going to react to that. Like I don't
right.
know, you know what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
like it's very
Oh,
strange how like there's a very strong assumption that like you can do that to anybody or do that to me, or like if I'm going to be in the queer space, like that's how I'm supposed to talk, or that's how
mhm.
I'm supposed to present. Like, and I don't mean like IRL, because I'm very, like I said, I'm very to myself.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
IRL, like good luck finding me.
yeah.
Like it's like, oh, is confetti, like confetti hasn't left their house in 10 days. Yeah, I'm very happy here.
Yeah.
um, but like as far as like, not to say like who I am on stage, I'm using a Disney term, ugh, how I am on stage or on Twitch or when I'm streaming is not me, but it's very like hyped up.
Right.
But like if that is within the performance of you to accept my queerness, that I be overtly like sexualize or sexualize, others, or like play flirting, and that's like what it has to be. Like I don't like go around and like the thing is like calling people like daddy. I don't like that. Don't call me mommy. I'm nobody's mother. Do
Yeah.
not call me daddy. I'm nobody's father.
Mhm.
I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
not
So
to
please do not
not
do
to
that to
like
me.
yuck anybody's yum because whatever folks are like comfortable with, but I feel the exact same way because for me, like, no lie, I call my father daddy. Like, I know that's kind of juvenile and childish, but I always have my
No.
entire life. So when I hear that being used by other people, I go, "Oh, that makes me uncomfortable." Like, you do
Right.
you, but that's not for me. Yeah, we can all
Yeah.
have the things that we like and dislike. Totally,
Right. And
totally.
I'm also not, and I also like wonder, because my friend Exilia, who I love, she was talking about like, because I'm so naive to a lot of things, but she was talking about like kinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like that could be like a kink to somebody. And like, I don't want to play into that because I don't consent to that. Because the thing is, when
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
doing something like that, there has to be consenting
Consent.
parties, and I
Yes.
don't consent.
Yes.
But the thing is, when you remove that consent, or not even remove, when you just simply say no,
Mhm.
there is some very harsh pushback.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, I do this on this person's page, like it's just a cosplay or it's just this. And I'm like, I said no. I am not Tengen Uzui.
Mhm.
Shocker. I'm not a demon slayer, y'all. Yeah. I mean, I know I'm wearing rhinestones on my face, but like
I found out live on stream. How could you do this to me?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just that's not who I am. um, so like the thing is like when I say, hey, this makes me uncomfortable, don't
Mm.
do it, then it's just like, I don't know. I just don't like the reaction to that. Or I feel like, I can't defend myself. It's just like, well, well, like this is something that's like, normalized in the queer community. Breaching people's consent is normalized. Let's have a conversation about that.
I think that leads.
Because it's not. It's
Yeah,
literally not.
it's not.
Like you're talking out of your behind.
Yeah.
That's literally what you're doing, as my mother would say.
It leads back to like the whole stereotype thing and what verbiage is, you know, current and all those other things. But yeah, consent
That they
the
took
big
from
one.
Black trans women.
Would you like to speak on that a little bit?
What you took from
There we go.
most of ABE that comes from the Black community comes from Black trans women. It is not white queer gamer talk. Please stop. You sound dumb. You sound so stupid, and the Black community is laughing at you. Please stop. You not finna what?
My favorite part of that was the fact that you pulled down your microphone like a loudspeaker, like, listen up, everybody.
Get on my nerves. Or like, you ate, give me that plate. Shut up. Talking about. You don't even know what you talking about. Don't even season your food. Just be quiet. We know. Gonna act like shut up.
Oh.
That's just as one of my mods who is unhinged. and we love them for it.
I love it.
Gosh.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just like there was this one person's talking about like, because the thing is like when we talk about unchecked whiteness and stuff like that, because it all goes back to white supremacy and patriarchy. Like it literally always goes back to the same two answers.
Yeah.
But it's like you co-opt a language from an oppressed people who you got from Black trans women, and you co-opt it into your speech, and then you exclude the very people from the queer spaces of where they're supposed to be safe. And then you make them sound silly, you make us sound dumb and unintelligent while you're closing the door and keeping us out, while you continue to co-opt our culture and our language for your entertainment so you can look cool in front of your friends on TikTok. What?
Okay. Literally, I didn't want to add in anything, but oh my God, I got chills just hearing that just now.
That doesn't even make sense.
But it does though. Like,
no. Like
everything that you summed up.
Like
exactly.
That.
Right. Exactly. Like the total opposite of absolutely everything where that would have been done. And then let's go back about TikTok a little bit too. Do you think that is more prevalent because of TikTok or other social medias, you know, putting things into being trendy? Have you seen? No.
Black people have always been the trend. Black femmes have always been the trend. Always. Like the thing is, it gets co-opted. I think TikTok has made it more accessible. But the thing is we've always been the trend. Black trans women have always been the trend, have always been the dope, the trailblazers for everything to be co-opted. But you know, you see that back in I don't know, I wasn't alive, the 80s with Bo Derek, or the Bo Derek braids. Yeah. She put freaking cornrows and beads in her hair. I hope her hair fell out. But you call them Bo Derek braids. Kim Kardashian did the same exact thing. And she said, "Oh, I got Bo Derek braids." Take that crap out of your head. Stop. You see the, you know, appropriation when, you know, we have BBLs like that are trending right now. And it's just like, oh, so now Black women's like features are cool on everyone else but Black women. Okay. When it comes to like our speech and everything like that, like it's always been co-opted, but it's like when we speak and like what is native to us and what we know for us, because a lot of us grew up in impoverished areas or areas that didn't have access to, you know, great academics. So the thing is, you have to adjust your speech to, you know, to learn and to grow and all those other things. Sorry, I'm running out of words to think about.
You're fine.
But the thing is, it's like, but then we get told you're not speaking proper English. And then when you do speak quote unquote proper English, which AAVE is proper English, because the thing is, like, there is this southern kind of dialect that is an AAVE are cousins. So that's why you hear a lot of Southerners who do have the kind of same colloquialisms as AAVE. But you get demeaned for it. And the thing is, if you do speak, this proper English or what they view as proper English because you went to, an area with, a nice zip code and, a certain, level of academia with your schools, then you get told that you're talking white or I'm sorry, you speak nice for a black girl. Mm. You can't win.
No matter what. Yeah.
So we've always been the culture. It's just like TikTok has made it more accessible. And the thing is, like, you ever see Singing in the Rain?
The
I'm singing
Singing
in
in
the
the Rain,
rain.
the
Yeah,
original, right? Yeah, yeah,
the original.
yeah.
Yeah. So like, how the girl is like not singing, but the girl in the back is the person who's actually the voice.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally like that's literally Black culture. That's literally TikTok.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, Addison Rae just came out with this like perfume or something or perfume collab. Addison Rae literally has her platform because of Black women.
Mm.
But the thing is, she is a blonde hair, blue eyed white woman who is marketable. Her life gets to change. She got on and went and did the Renegade on what was that? Jimmy Fallon, and did it terribly, but literally had to fight for, the original creator to get her credit.
Right.
It's not making sense to me. So like it's always been like that. But now TikTok puts it out in the open. But the thing is, it's so sad because people still don't care. And even in, like I said, even in queerness, like I feel like even me as an asexual person, like I do not believe that like I would be, I don't want to be the face of, that's too much responsibility and I don't want to be perceived. But
Right.
like I said, like I gave the small example of like the Gamer Awards. Like you never see my name up there. You just won't.
Do you think that that's based on the current climate where things are going to go, or like the way that things are now? Also, I'm switching us out because we have about
yeah,
7
we're
minutes
coming up.
left, and I don't think we're gonna have time for another
What,
match. And
like-
I love this convo right now.
Oh yeah, no worries. Like what? As far as like,
Well, like for the Game Awards, or any sort of maybe gaming award show. Like would you specifically say about the Game Awards or any award show in general?
as far as like queerness is concerned?
Yeah, yeah. Queerness and blackness.
I feel like with blackness, I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. Like I
And you don't need to have the answer for this. It was.
I
it was,
don't. It's just
yeah.
I do, but I don't. It's like very hard to put into words. I think that you have to be like accepted in a certain type of way within a lot of these like systems, a lot of these privileged systems
Mm.
that will allow you to have that face. Like I love, for example, Critical Bard and
Oh yeah, CB.
Dr.
Yeah,
Blizzard Beerson, who is still banned in my chat.
as he should be.
Period. Um, like I see them as like spearheads and stuff like that, but it's like I don't know because it's like with CB, being a gay demi male, like I feel like they're gonna be like more accepted for men because, like I said, like they're more toward the front of what do you guys say, the alphabet mafia?
Yeah, I say alphabet mafia, and it's true.
Yeah.
We are all
More to the
super
front.
amazing and
But the
super
thing is,
inclusive, but it's long. Yeah.
if you're the back and solely the back, because the thing is that's not seen by valid as the majority.
Mm.
So like I feel like I get anxiety like because I feel like I'm just gonna have to like the last pride that happened. Like I feel like this upcoming I'm gonna have to defend myself again.
Again, yeah.
I'm not like I've done something with Twitch. So like typically with Twitch, once you're in a campaign, you're not gonna do it a second time, and you don't need to.
Yeah.
Like I think the only one I've never done was Women's History Month, but like
Mhm.
so like somebody else have that spot. But the thing is, Twitch will make sure that that representation is there because people have said like there's more to us out there.
Mhm.
But I feel like because queerness is so gate kept, because of that gatekeeping and the powers that be that gatekeep it, which is white supremacy and patriarchy, me, a Black asexual woman, it would take literally like Neil Patrick Harris to put me there for me to be accepted. It would take somebody of like, I think, substantial privilege to put me there.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is sad, but oh well.
Thank you for being
It'll be
transparent and just honest. Honestly, that's why I asked, because I knew that's what I would get from
Jonah.
you.
Hi, Donna. And You're
Hi,
great.
Donna. Donna had something. Oh, I think I scrolled by it. Donna mentioned something earlier. Uh, Basically, when we were talking about, like the queer community and the verbiage, Donna said, honestly, the drag community really fosters that mindset as well.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but the thing is, if I know that there are certain things that I can't call out because I know that I will be leveled by by a lot of whiteness, and it's okay. And, like, it's not okay, but like like that's a battle I know that even if I said something,
Mm-hmm.
I would lose. And it's not even about like winning or losing. It's just like I know that I would be buried, and like I would be silenced because I am a black asexual woman and I am not seen as valid and I'm barely seen as human.
I'm sorry if you can hear my dog in the background right now.
Hi, puppy.
Milady, thank you so much
Of
for
course.
absolutely
I will
everything
be
for
I'll be
today.
sending you a bill
This is
for making me
do
cry.
it, make it double, and then I'm gonna get you your favorite biscuits that you were telling me about before.
Are you talking about Popeyes?
Yes, you love them. She's gonna
We're
block me.
doing
She's
Black
gonna
History
block
Month.
me.
Slap the hell out of you. Oh, I'm sorry. It gets better. I'm sorry. Dry
It's fine.
biscuits.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. I like how you had to think about it for a minute. I'm like, at
I'm
what
like
point? At what
biscuits.
point is Milady just gonna have like Discord just like boom, and then you're just gonna see my desktop? Um, y'all, Milady Confetti, everybody. Can we please have some love and hype in the chat? Thank you so much for coming on today. If folks are new here and they're interested in finding you, Milady Confetti on Twitter, Milady Confetti on Twitch. Where else can we find you?
On
YouTube,
TikTok,
TikTok,
YouTube,
YouTube.
Instagram. Please follow
Okay.
my Instagram. Oh my gosh.
Follow
And
Confetti's Instagram, please.
please. Yeah, and that's all of my main platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Follow Sisters of the Fog. Follow
Yes.
for cosplay stuff. Google stuff so that Milady can have
Read bell
some
hooks.
have
Please.
some time off. And thank you so much for being here. Seriously, this was an absolute highlight.
And thank you for having me. You were
Thank
the
you.
first person who like had me on to speak about this particular topic, and it's his first time talking about it, and it felt okay. It felt good.
I'm glad. I'm really glad. Don't make me cry again before we leave. Oh my god, we're gonna end up blocking each other at this rate.
Okay.
Seriously, thank you so much, Sulky. I don't know if you have a place that you'd like us to host a raid. Thank you so much to everybody for being here. Look at all these beautiful little sharks in the
It's Black
chat.
History Month, so let's raid somebody black.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't have the authority on my side, so Sulky, if you want to send us over where somewhere,
I heard Diva.
is Diva? Is Diva on?
Diva is on. It says she's on.
Cool.
Unless this is lying to me, I wouldn't be shocked.
All right, we'll see if Sulky is able to do that for us. I'll give them another minute. I want to see if Diva's on my end, and then I can sneak on over there too. It'd be perfect.
It looks like she might have just went live.
Oh, she did. Okay. I love Diva.
Oh, she's on a little small break.
Oh, all right.
Probably Mochi got out.
Diva. Beautiful.
And thank you to my community for being here. They know I was very nervous about this.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
They came
Y'all
in
are great.
swarms over here. It was
And if y'all tell
freaking
anybody I cried, you
amazing.
better tell everybody I thug cried, because I'm a thug out here in these streets.
Nothing happened. We saw
Nothing
absolutely
happened. Erase
nothing.
the VOD.
Yeah, we're erasing it. We're erasing it. Oh, we're unable to raid. No worries, Sulky. No worries. Well, listen. If y'all want to go check out Diva yourself, then
Making a compilation.
oh, you know why? It doesn't let me. That's okay. Don't worry about it at all. If y'all want to check out Diva yourself, this is the link in the chat. Make sure you go say hi. absolutely support Diva. Diva's another incredible content creator over here on Twitch. She's playing DBD tonight for some Wicked Wednesday. She's gotten a supported creator code with Epic, so make sure you use that too. And she's also a fog whisperer for Dead by Daylight, among other things. But
support Black women's joy,
yeah,
not just in the month of February,
all the time,
all year long.
All right, and I know you have to go, so
no worries at all.
Head out.
Thank you so much again, y'all. Have a wonderful evening, Milady Confetti. Thank you so much again. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.